What is up, everybody? J Nell here, super late with my UFC 215 prediction video. Yeah, I'm that late. It's happening in a couple of hours, so let's get into it. The prelims, I believe I'm choosing Sarah McMahon to beat Kellen Vieta. Now on to the main card. This is a heck of a first fight. We have Jeremy Stephens taking on Gilbert Melendez. Jeremy Stephens has more tools standing. He has the punching power. He has more diversity in his strikes. However, he can start headhunting. He can get off task like he did in the Moicano fight where he should have won that fight. So that was very disappointing. It makes me nervous to pick him. He has great takedown defense and has a strong wrestling as well. Gilbert Melendez is coming off of 2 years of not fighting, so their ring rust is a real thing. He's coming off of 3 losses. Jeremy Stephens coming off of 2 losses, but he's in more fighting form. Gilbert Melendez, I believe, has more tools and is more technically sound with the black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and the wrestling background. He's willing to brawl. He has very technically sound striking as well, but I believe he needs to keep this in close quarters and try to take Jeremy down, where I think he could win that way. I'm very nervously picking Gilbert Melendez. This is a heck of an opening fight, and I'm super excited to see the comeback and see where Gilbert's at. Jeremy's also a little bit younger than Gilbert as well. Now, on to the next fight. I am choosing Tyson Pedro to beat Ilir Latifi, but that should be a good fight as well. I'm also nervous about that. I'm choosing Henry Cejudo to beat Wilson Hayes. I think they're both grapplers, but I think that Henry will be a bit physically stronger and has more tools standing, but that should be a good fight as well. This is a good card, by the way. Even without the main event, good card. On to the co-main event. We're having Neil Magny take on the former UFC lightweight champion, Rafael dos Anjos. This is his second fight in the welterweight division here. Neil Magny will be very visibly bigger. I'm outside, bear with me. Bigger than Rafael dos Anjos, like about 8 inches taller or something like that. Quite a bit taller. He's going to have like a 10-inch reach advantage, and he fights very long, uses his reach very well, and he's going to need to use all of that. That will be his biggest tools. He has great cardio. He has a high offensive output. They both do. With that leverage, with being taller with the knees, keeping out of distance on the ground with those long lengths. He's very creative with his submissions, creative with his striking. Neil Magny's always improving. He's a tough outing for anyone. Now, Rafael dos Anjos, again, this is the second fight in the welterweight division. We're trying to see, can you hang it in the welterweight division? I believe he has more tools than Neil Magny does. He's a third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think he'll be faster, which is key. I think he'll be faster on the feet. So he's going to have to find a way to get inside that range. And they both have high offensive outputs, but I believe Rafael's is higher. So find a way to get inside that range of Neil's and then blitz him, overwhelm him with shots, and then get out. Get in, overwhelm, and get out. It's going to be a very tough task for him to do, but I believe Rafael can do it. I believe he is fast enough to do that, get into close quarters and try to take him down. Even though Neil Magny is a brown belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, again, Rafael is a third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I think he's smart enough and he's been there enough to not get caught any of Neil Magny's creative, tricky, try to bait you into bad positioning on the ground. And with the ground and pound mixed with his third-degree black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, Rafael dos Anjos' ground and pound is vicious. His grappling is vicious and aggressive, and I think his best bet is to take Neil Magny down. Now, Rafael dos Anjos, if you can't beat Neil Magny, you might want to rethink whether or not you want to stay in this division, because they only get bigger, they only get stronger, they only get taller. The reach advantage only gets longer, they only get more skilled. So, and I'm not calling Neil Magny a gatekeeper of any sorts. He's always getting better. I think he's ranked like number 7. So he's by no means a gatekeeper. That's not what I mean by that. But Rafael, if you can't beat Neil Magny, you might want to rethink going back down to 155. And I'm picking Rafael dos Anjos. Nervous. This should be an excellent fight. Now, main event, and we're seeing the UFC Women's Bantamweight Champion, Amanda the Lioness Nunes, finally take on, for the second time, Valentina Schevchencko. They fought before, Amanda Nunes won, but as many thought, including myself, had there been 2 more rounds, I don't know. That 3rd round fight, she won the first 2 rounds, and Valentina very clearly won the 3rd. Now, the Lioness is a black belt in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, but really it's them hands. It's them hands. We've been playing hot potato with the women's bantamweight belt. She's the only first one in a couple of times to actually defend it. She defended against Ronda Rousey, and boy did she. She has one-punch knockout power. She is the hardest hitter in the women's bantamweight division. I believe she can knock any one of those chicks out. And the striking technique, the boxing technique she throws, when I say she throws like a man, I mean the technique, the punches, the way the shoulder rolls, the head movement, the angles that the punches come from. She throws more like a boxer striker hybrid, not quite like an MMA striker. We saw with the taking the belt from Miesha Tate that she measured her cardio. She used it very well. She did not gas in that fight, and she beat Miesha Tate down to the ground before she snatched up that neck. It was very impressive. She's a brutal fighter. She is a scary fighter, and so is Valentina Schevchencko. Okay, Muay Thai specialist Valentina Schevchenko. Again, had there been 2 more rounds in that first fight, she's very long. I believe she has Amanda has the reach advantage on Valentina, but Valentina will have more kicks, and she will definitely use those kicks and those knees. And she has the ability to get you off balance, to get her opponents to fight out of character, which I believe she'll have to do here. There's some bad blood here in between these ladies. We don't really see that with Amanda or with Valentina, so I think that the emotion could possibly come into play. The motivation of Valentina, she's upset she didn't get this title shot the first time. She believes that she could have won the first fight, so her motivation there, I'm worried about Amanda. Ever since she got that belt, even though she defended it, you know, she's been not partying, but she's been traveling. She's been a spokesperson for the LGBT community. She's been on social media. She seems to be doing a lot. She seems to be spread real thin, while Valentina seems to be working. She hits harder than she looks. She's faster than she looks, as we saw with Juliana Pena. She has better grappling than we thought. Took her down, snatched up the neck, or submitted her. I'm not sure if it was a neck. Correct me if I'm wrong, I'm excited. Submitted her. No one saw that coming. I think she has underrated wrestling and grappling that we actually haven't seen from her yet. So if this goes down to the ground, which I think it might, I don't know. I think we'll see this fight take place everywhere. And I do believe it will go beyond 3 rounds. Amanda needs to get the first 3. The longer this fight goes on, the more in favor of Valentina. I truly, truly believe that. I believe even though she showed more measured and more better handling of her cardio in the fight with Miesha Tate, I believe with the high offensive output of Valentina Schevchenko, the longer this goes, I do believe Amanda will begin to tire. So, who will win? They're both accurate. Amanda's super accurate though. She's more accurate. She has the punching advantage, punching power advantage. Valentina will have a higher offensive output, plus the kick. She'll need to use those to keep Amanda at bay, trick her with her combinations. She's gonna have to pull out the entire toolbox here, have a high offensive output from the beginning of the fight all the way to the end and stretch it out. Avoid the one-hit quitter. I'm picking Valentina Schevchenko. Yeah. I'm very worried about the preparation of Amanda, her failing to make weight or getting sick. I know she had the cyanitis, which does throw off your breathing and your equilibrium and all of that, but still it made me nervous. Has she got it together in like the 2 months since then? I'm not sure. She made me nervous, and I like a shake-up. I like the hot potato with the divisions belt there, so I am picking Valentina Schevchenko. Let me know all of your picks, any injury updates. We all know, too bad we're not going to see Mighty Mouse get a chance at the record there. Hopefully Ray Borg is okay and we'll see that fight happen eventually. But this fight card is still stacked. Who's upset? I'm not upset. This fight card is still stacked. So let me know all of your picks, any injury updates. I know it's a short notice. I'm so sorry. I'll be not watching the fight in real time. So I'll be catching you back with my recap. Follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, where I will have 15-second prediction videos. I'm on Snapchat now. Talk to me or subscribe, talk to me, take care, and goodbye.